Welcome to New Zealand's biggest gap year, an epic challenge that my partner Laura and I decided to tackle a few years back. The challenge, 365 activities all around New Zealand in 365 days. And today we're checking out the Antarctic Centre in Christchurch. Join me at the end of the video when I'm gonna go over all the questions and comments you guys had the first time we published it. Today we are leaving Akara for the town of Hagland Springs. It's about a 3 hours drive, so we found an activity halfway through in the Christchurch city.
I'm getting prepared to go to the Antarctic.
I don't think Laura fully understands what a museum is. We are not actually going to Antarctica.
It's actually quite warm.
As soon as we arrive at the reception of the Antarctic Centre, we are being given some wristbands, which is basically the entry ticket, and we are sent to the Huskies. Believe it or not, the Husky dogs were the only means of transportation used for the earliest exploration of the South Pole. It's absolutely incredible to know that those dogs were actually the one way people were getting around in such an atrocious climate. The trainer here answers all our questions about the Huskies and even tells us more about their specific type of fur that helps them sustain absolutely cold as temperatures. But all we really care about is how fluffy and playful they are. They all look absolutely gorgeous and loves a good rub on the belly.
After playing with those adorable Huskies, it's now time for us for our Hagland ride. Because yes, everything at the Antarctic Centre is on a time schedule, so you have different times to go do different attractions, and Hagland is one of the first things that we're doing. These beastie vehicles are used by the American and Australian research operations in Antarctica, and they can go over pretty much anything, and that's exactly what this experience is about. We go to this obstacle course for the Hagland and go over makeshift crevasses and lumps of tyres and things to represent ice hills. And throughout this 20-minute experience, our guide is giving us loads of information through the microphone into our headphones so everyone in the vehicle can hear. For instance, he's telling us that the Hagland has a towing capacity of 2 tons. Also, these vehicles were developed initially for the Swedish army before they were used for research in the Antarctic. But the way this crazy obstacle course is going, we can definitely see why it is used in the Antarctic.
Long story short, this ride feels like a roller coaster but much slower. Those things are absolutely unstoppable. It's quite amazing to see that those man-made machines can go over everything. As soon as we're back in the Antarctic Centre, we are gonna get the time to actually explore the museum itself. It feels like we have been in the museum for about an hour but haven't stepped into it just yet. One of the things I like the most about the whole museum though is this self-guided tour little thing that you can program to actually talk to you about each of the different items you can find around the museum. You just find a number and put it on. It's really cool. But one thing that Laura likes the most is the fake snow.
This exhibition is so cool with all the different snow, and it's more like a 6-minute show rather than just your boring museum exhibition. It's about the different seasons of Antarctica and how you can experience 24/7 of darkness and then 24/7 of just non-stop daylight.
One of the main attractions of the Antarctic Centre is the Antarctic Storm. It's basically a massive freezer that we have to wear special equipment to go into because it's supposed to replicate the storms happening in the Antarctic. The storm is happening every hour, so we're queuing to get ourselves inside this massive freezer. It all starts really well with an 8-degree temperature, but really quickly the night comes upon us and the temperature drops down to -18 degrees. There is also huge fans which are blowing freezing air onto us. I really don't know why we're doing that. It's absolutely freezing. We are cold. We can't see anything. It's the Antarctic at night.
Making our way through the Antarctica Centre, we stumble upon exhibitions telling stories of life in Antarctica and also some little blue penguins. Obviously, you see a lot of penguins in Antarctica, but many penguins you actually see in New Zealand, as you would have seen in many of our videos recently. And these little blue penguins have been kept here since chicks, since they have been born with physical disabilities that might harm their capability of staying alive in the wild. Next we're moving on to the 4D cinema, which obviously we can't show you guys any of the film, but basically it is a 3D cinema experience but with some water and foam and moving seats. And then finally, we go on to a section which shows us how it is to go to Antarctica in a plane.
It's already day 366 and we decided to take it to a whole new level. So New Zealand's biggest gap year hasn't just finished here. We are going to Antarctica in the next 47 seconds. See you there! Brace yourself guys, Antarctica is coming in 22 seconds, coming in 0 seconds, it's right... Oh no, wait, it's just a documentary on the TV. Well, I'm gonna watch it anyway while Laura is checking up a little bit of the pictures she's been taking today. We then move on to other parts of the exhibition. It displays the difference between the South Pole and the North Pole. There's also a lot about the native wildlife of the South Pole, which is quite interesting, especially the huge amount of whale species that are living in the marine sanctuaries which are surrounding the Antarctica. But trust Laura and I to find the food in any exhibition. All in all, the International Antarctic Centre was an awesome pit stop and a great way to break up the drive from Akara to Hagland Springs. But to be fair, the drive is absolutely stunning, so we're not really complaining. There are towering mountains and beautiful fields all around us, and we are heading to Hagland Springs, which is known for its hot pools.
And although this experience only lasts for probably about a minute, it feels like an hour. I'm just freezing my balls off, which I don't have, probably because they fell off because they got frozen in the Antarctic Centre. What am I talking about?
Alright everybody, so how cold was that? I know it was cool, but it was even cooler than cool. It was cold. That is a terrible dad joke. Alright, moving on to the comments and questions you guys had. Ray was saying, hey guys, how was your driver? It was good to be able to show you around. So that's pretty cool that Liti, our driver, you know, when we did this big machine drive around, Ray was our driver. It also says, I note that you had a lot of fun, great commentary, but the Haglands are used primarily by the New Zealand group down here. Then they take the Aussies and some Americans in their research. The Americans use other sort of machines as well. So here you go, a bit of a clarification from Ray. That's pretty cool. Yasha says, my son and my husband got VIP entry and saw the vet and it was good. My son loved it and got some gifts and a husky plush, and he also saw husky dogs. How cool is that? Nomadi says, nice videos, thanks you guys. Jackie is happy and she said, that's it, I'm going there, and when I'm going back in November, so that's decided for her. Jackie has decided to go to the Antarctic Centre. Kenny says, your videos are excellent. Sorry to see that you only got no more than 100 likes. Your videos are much more worth than that. Well, I agree with you. You're more than welcome to hit the like button on any of our videos and to, you know, support the channel by like sharing it and everything. We'd rather spending our time on creating really good content than doing just a quick marketing play and just putting all our time and effort in trying to get people seeing very average content. So, you know, we're trying to make something informative. Ebe says, I wonder what the fake snow was made of and was it really cold? Well, I think you have to discover that for yourself actually when you get there. I won't spoil the magic right here, so here you go. Okay, if you have some questions and comments of your own, make sure to put them in the comment on this video, or you can join us during the NZ Travel Show. It's happening live on Sunday every single week at 8 AM New Zealand time. So Sunday, 8 AM New Zealand time, every single week we answer all your questions about traveling in New Zealand. Another thing that we can do for you is to point you in the direction of nzpocketguide.com. It's New Zealand's largest travel guide. It's free of charge, and yeah, it is amazing. It's thousands and thousands of articles for you to plan your perfect trip to New Zealand. And lastly, you can hit the like and subscribe button to support us. As some people have said, you know, our videos deserve a little bit more views. And you can also join us on Patreon if you feel like supporting all our hard work. Yeah, in the meantime, I wish you a lovely day and I see you in the next video. Bye bye.